In 1931, Nikola Tesla made a claim that blurred the line between engineering and philosophy. He said, "If you only knew the magnificence of 3, 6, and 9, then you would have a key to the universe." This animation demonstrates a mathematical pattern where 9 acts as a supreme axis. If you take a circle and divide its angles, 360 degrees to 180 to 90 to 45, and add those digits, they always loop back to 9. Meanwhile, the numbers 3 and 6 govern the physical, oscillating forces, the push and pull of reality. Thousands of years before Tesla started mapping circles, ancient Indian sages were already categorizing the universe through a layered system of classification. They recorded these observations in texts defining the 4 gunas and 4 akars, a framework tracking how nature and consciousness interact to build reality. This side-by-side comparison reveals the anomaly. When you map the ancient framework, the math mirrors Tesla's exact sequence. But the Vedic texts include an extra digit. They didn't stop at counting 3, 6, and 9. They calculated an absolute origin point, 0. To find out where that 0 leads, we have to look at the math the sages used to categorize the universe in the first place. In modern vortex mathematics, 9 is the highest code. It sits at the center of the universe, dictating the structure of everything else, while remaining completely unchanged itself. The Vedic equivalent of this center is a state called Nirgun Sakar. This is the condition of absolute completion, an active but hidden state where the soul and the supreme consciousness merge into a unified core of creation. Within this state, the ultimate creative energy, known as Vaishnavi Shakti, operates simultaneously across 3 different cosmic levels, and on each level, she manifests in 3 distinct forms, the energies of Sarasvati, Lakshmi, and Shakti. This grid illustrates the math of that exact arrangement. When 3 cosmic levels interact with 3 energy forms, the calculation equals exactly 9. Both modern physics and ancient scripture independently identified 9 as the mathematical state of complete cosmic creation. But the physical universe is full of motion. For Tesla, the numbers 3 and 6 represent physical duality, the positive and negative poles that keep the material world moving. The Vedic texts describe this material manifestation as a state called Sagun Sakar. In this state, the creator element, Brahma, activates, splitting reality into 2 distinct poles. The texts call these Ved, meaning truth, and Viprit Ved, the opposite truth. This flowchart tracks how that calculation shifts. Because reality is now divided, the 3 fundamental forms of creative energy must operate along both sides. When that energy spreads across these 2 opposing poles, the result is the number 6. This 6 acts as the mathematical engine of the physical simulation. It generates the friction between light and dark, creating all human joy, sorrow, and circumstantial reality. To navigate this physical simulation, Tesla identified the number 3 as the initial vector. It is the baseline frequency and flow of energy required to move through the universe. The Vedic texts offer a specific application for this vector. They state that to escape the chaotic duality of the 6, a seeker must master the singular frequency of the 3. In practice, this means dedicating a lifetime to mastering just one of the 3 fundamental gunas, the traits of sattva, rajas, or tamas, through focused yoga. Mastering this 3 provides the velocity necessary to break free from the material world and journey back toward the origin. Curious, this brings us back to the missing digit. What happens when a seeker masters the 3, escapes the friction of the 6, and traces that ultimate 9 back to its source? You reach the final, highest state of reality, Nirgun Nirakar. In this state, form, physical properties, and dimensions disappear entirely. This breakdown shows what happens mathematically. The forces of creation and physical generation drop away. With no physical universe to sustain, the creative energy value collapses to an absolute 0. The texts state the entity ruling this 0 is Shiva. He represents the ultimate cosmic void, existing completely independent of the physical dimensions of the universe. He acts as the invisible framework, moving freely between galaxies and dimensions, connecting all things without becoming entangled. Ancient sages recognized this unattached zero-point state as a primordial frequency, recording it in their texts as the sound Om. Tesla mapped the principles of the physical universe. But the Vedic texts add a final dimension, revealing that all energy, frequency, and vibration ultimately emerge from and return to the profound emptiness of the zero.